Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go ahead and do a quick update on our Microsoft valuation here in about 5 minutes and get you a valuation and buy, sell, or hold rating for them. So first, update the income statement with 2021 data. This came out in July of this year. Last video I made was back in March. If you want to see kind of a little bit more detailed analysis of some of this, go to the March video. I talk a little bit more about some of the business units. Copy over the balance sheet as well. So we got that layered in here. And then now onto the DCF. So the way we have this built out is we're looking at revenue by the 3 business lines: productivity and business processes, intelligent cloud, and more personal computing. And we forecast out each of these business lines here. You'll see I've taken what I think is a relatively conservative approach. And we'll start with a little bit more conservative even here. We'll take the cloud, decrease it 1% a year. Business and productivity decrease about 1% a year as well. And then more personal computing decreasing about 1% a year. But we can see we're going from about 170 billion in revenue up to 600 billion. So that's a pretty hefty growth. And then on top of that, what I've modeled in here is if we look at COGS, you're going to see this actually slowly decreasing, kind of continuing the trend we've seen over the last 4 years. The reason for that being is as they shift to more of the productivity and intelligent cloud and less kind of selling physical devices, things of that nature, right? What happens is you see a better margin basically on the products. It's a lot of software as a service. SG&A, this should always be decreasing in a larger company. Now, a young startup maybe doesn't have a full-fledged SG&A department. It's going to actually increase as the revenue grows, but over time it should actually start to taper back down. So we have that kind of decreasing here. And then other expense, similar, just decreasing as the scale grows. And if you actually look at any of these, you'll see the absolute dollars are still growing on all of these. So it's not that this is decreasing, it's just in comparison to revenue or as a proportion of revenue, right? It's decreasing, but the absolute dollars for all of these are still increasing. And then, the rest of this is just kind of noise. Kind of hold it all just kind of constant. Depreciation, you'll see 57%. I'm not sure what happened here. Maybe they had just large CapEx investments in 2021. So we haven't seen the depreciation hit yet, but 80% is usually a good amount for a good split between growth and maintenance CapEx. So with kind of these assumptions here, we throw a 10% whack on here, and what we can see is you get, a valuation of 1.8 trillion when you use the 10%. Currently, Microsoft's trading at 2.4 trillion, so a little bit of a disconnect there. Something I think to note here, though, is we are using I would say a relatively conservative kind of growth rate on revenue based off how they looked in 2021. So, personally, and kind of depending on the whack you could do, right, you get anywhere from 1.5 to 2.3 trillion. I think Microsoft is in a good hold spot. I think they have a very impressive business. I think they do a great job of kind of continuing to dominate and grow in the markets they're in. I think as we move to this more hybrid work environment, Microsoft Teams and productivity tools become more and more valuable. Cloud especially, right? You need to have all your services up all the time. So I think they have a very strong moat or kind of spot in the market. I think, maybe they're a little bit overvalued right now from the standpoint of, they had a really strong 2021. Can they continue doing that? Can they not? That's kind of the question, I think. So I would say if you have Microsoft, it's probably not a bad stock to have in your portfolio, but I wouldn't go out and buy it personally myself right now. I think, 2.4 trillion, that's a little bit more than I would want. I'd want to wait and see if a little pullback happens, anything like that. I don't know. Personally, I think I would kind of sit on Microsoft. I probably wouldn't be looking to enter it right now. I'd want to see how 2022 kind of closes and see if they maintain that growth and then kind of reevaluate. I think there's some other plays in the market right now that are a little bit better. But yeah, this is kind of my take. This is my DCF. Feel free to download it and adjust the numbers. But, I think Microsoft's a tremendous company. I would just wait for a little bit of a pullback before being comfortable to enter. I think 2.4 trillion is a little bit rich for me based off their financials and, kind of my projected future and kind of I would say this is kind of like a worst case scenario. Obviously, if you're really bullish, it could be a much better company, but that's kind of my take. Anyways, hope you found this useful or interesting. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below and I'll try to get back to you. Thanks so much for watching.